Where were you before you started sustainable, and what was it that made you reach out?
For sustainable, I had just had my two kids. So my youngest was like 18 months. So two kids kind of just lost my way. And I just kind of felt like it didn't matter what I was doing, I never found my groove again. And I just felt like I was just kind of wasn't doing anything for myself. I think it's very typical for mums just again get stuck into the daily routine. You're just everything you do, you just live for your kids and your family, and you're just doing the clubs and the school runs and all this kind of stuff and not finding any time for me. And I just felt like my clothes don't fit. Before the kids, I was very active, very sporty, loved going to the gym. Like that hadn't ever changed. It was just more, I was struggling to even where do I start again? Where do I find the time? What can I do? And it was just kind of having someone to chat through things or just be accountable. Just I had tried to do things before and it just kind of fell away because I just never felt there was a connection or someone kind of understood properly what was going on. Kind of, I had some friends who had done it and they had had incredible results, and I was like, let's just try it because I need something to do, or it's just going to go even worse and worse in the wrong direction from what I want to be. I want to be active. I want to be there to run about with my kids and stuff. So it was like, I need to do something.
Done amazing. So you're 14 kg down now. I think when we first spoke, you just wanted to drop a dress size, like that was the initial goal. So you've smashed your goal, probably by double. How are you feeling in your physique now, and how are your energy levels and your ability to run about with the kids?
Mental think so. I think all women kind of have those clothes in their wardrobe and they're like, one day I'll get back to them. I've been wearing clothes that I've been not worn since before I had my daughter 6 years ago.
That's mad,
And
isn't it?
and just actually feeling more comfortable probably in them now than what I did at that point. There was a
Yeah.
dress that I had on for my daughter's first birthday, and I wore it the other week, and I had never touched it for like 6 years, like full 5 years, and I was like, wow. It was like having a whole new wardrobe again, and I think the numbers on the scales aren't something that affects me as much. It's more that the clothes and stuff like that, and just even people saying, I sit and then people are like, "Oh, you're looking really slender. What's been happening?" And I was like, to be honest, I've not actually. I don't feel like I physically had to change that much in my life to do that, which is probably the biggest bonus about doing this. Is like it is. I mean, called sustainable. It kind of just like says it all. Like honestly, there's been like small tweaks that I've made, and it's just having that understanding with someone and being like, right, just change this tiny wee thing, and those tiny wee things have made such a difference.
It puts women off starting because they do think that they have to overhaul everything. And like you've said, you already had such a busy life. How could you possibly have fit anything else in? But we really do try and do it in a way where it does feel easy. Like, yes, you have to apply yourself. And if anything, it's more mentally challenging at times, but it fits for you because it's bespoke to you. And that's why it works so well.
Nothing's been off limits and nothing hasn't like I've not changed anything that drastic. Like still like I'm definitely a foodie, love my food. And that's not changed. It's just probably the volumes of what I'm eating are changing. So just I've still had like within the past 6 months, I've still had McDonald's, but just changed my order to what I'm having. Still been out with friends, still done all the things like had the Marks and Spencer's ready meals when things have been like tough and been like just picking up a ready meal, but just looking and seeing like how can I make this better and actually make it more filling.
And if someone had said to you, like, even if you can only apply 80%, you will still get like 14 kg down, which is insane. Like, would you probably before wouldn't have thought that was possible?
No, definitely not. And just how busy life is, I would have been like, you're joking. But honestly, it just feels so minute. And even like the family's joined in, which is quite spot on.
Oh,
I've done it all at home.
yeah.
And when I'm doing it, like my daughter's wanted to join in, my husband's joined in, and just those wee things are quite, it just feels like good to me for them to see that and actually want to join in on the journey as well.
That was something we spoke about in the original call, like, because you were very much like didn't obviously want to set a bad example in both extremes. You didn't want your daughter to think that you were dieting extremely and having to restrict, but you also didn't want her to think that how you were was healthy. So you've really managed to show her a really positive way of doing this, which I think is so amazing because it was like when we were growing up, like the diet culture was so toxic. And that's where we've came to always thinking that we've got to have these extremes. Whereas
Yeah.
actually you're teaching her like the eat protein to be strong, carbohydrates are going to give you energy, like training's really good for you, like how strong mum is. I think that's so powerful.
I kind of found not difficult, but like was like making sure I measured everything and
Yeah,
trying to explain to her why I was measuring it and trying to like that was kind of like this I'm doing as we had discussed. You were like, say it's to be strong and healthy and make sure that I'm eating enough to recover from my exercise. And she was like, "Oh, that's great. Can I help you exercise then?" And that was the end of the conversation. It wasn't like, "Oh, I need to weigh all my stuff." She just wasn't interested, which is like what I was concerned about, that she was going to start weighing out, and she
yeah,
just was
totally.
like, "Yeah, let's work out together," and that was it.
It just has to be done in a really safe and positive way. Yeah, you've done it amazingly. And like energy levels day to day, like how's that feeling? Like, do you notice the
Oh,
difference day to day?
definitely. I think I'm just more because I feel happier in who I am as well. That helps with your energy levels. And
Yeah,
like, it's not like you're like if I'm going on a day out and I'm trying to put on something a bit less mumsy, as in the leggings and the sports t-shirt, get a bit more dressed up. I don't
yeah,
have that automatic slump right away going, this doesn't fit, or it's all lumpy and bumpy and all this kind of stuff. It's like I'm feeling good when I get up, and then I'm feeling good about putting my clothes on, and then just like definitely do have more energy, even though, like, as I say, my son's still young, he still wakes up during the night, but I
yeah,
don't feel sluggish. I just feel good and in a good place. And I feel like I've said this to Claire is like mentally just like kind of understanding why was I eating stuff before in a way that I was. And that's all changed. Like, I used to have a cup of tea at night and then I'd tan a whole packet of biscuits. And it's like, why was I doing that? And it was just out of sheer habit of like doing it. And then when I cut out, I was like, I don't miss this anymore. And it was
yeah,
like, even last night, it was like, did I sit down and watch the telly? And I was like, let's do a workout. And I just had that burst of energy at 9 o'clock last night to do a workout. That's not the norm. That was just
yeah.
like, oh, let's go and do it. And it wasn't like, it's not like my normal routine or anything like that. It was just, oh, I've got some time. Kids are in bed. Let's do it.
Yeah,
And it was just
so
like that mindset wouldn't have been there before.
yeah, because it's a funny one, isn't it? You think you are too tired and too exhausted, like this is before, and lack of time to fit any of this in, and like it's going to be more exhausting. When actually, you get more from it. You get more energy, more like your mood's better. You feel brighter day to day. Like it doesn't actually take anything away. If anything, it just gives back into your life.
Definitely. And I think the biggest factor has been the steps. Like, I think honestly, that has been the kind of like the slow, like in the background kind of goal. Like, that's the one that makes a difference if you hit those steps.
Which is again just another positive for the kids that you're getting outside and also showing them that it's good to get outside for some fresh air as well.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's been incredible. Like so many positive changes. Like, yeah, I'm just so proud of your journey. And it's so inspiring, I think, to other mums as well, because there is so many women who will be sitting watching this who want to do what you've achieved and really don't believe that they have the means or ability to do it. Like what would you say to them if they were thinking about joining but were like, I don't have the time, can't get to a gym, I've got two young kids. Like you've done it. What would your advice to them be?
I'd say not to panic and not to think that it's going to be a massive, you're going to wake up the next day and change your whole routine and change everything. This literally just slotted into how my life worked. And that's the best thing about it is the coaches are so understanding and kind of being like, right, what could we change slightly?
Yeah,
Yeah, I definitely say don't think of it as a I'm going to change everything in my life. It's just start by thinking it's just a small step, signing up, and then going, right, what is the first thing I could do? Could it be just going for a daily walk first? And then can I just have a better breakfast? Tiny, tiny wee things that do make a massive difference from a tiny wee change.
yeah. And add up to a 14 kg drop.
And not over a long span of time, but not a drastic change either. Like we've had Christmas, I've had birthdays,
If it's
I've
been
moved out of my house for renovations, and that weight still stayed off. Like honestly, this hasn't been hard because you can still do it around all the things that are going on in life.
yeah, and there's no perfect time, is there? Because there's
No.
always something going on. And if you're always waiting for the perfect time, it's just never gonna come. Like especially when you've got kids.
What makes it different now to starting in a few months' time? Like life is hectic, it's always going to be hectic, and it's kind of like by doing this you understand the ways to go. So when I was moving, it was a case of, right, maybe you can't cook as many meals, but look at what can you have that's quick but good for you. And it was just having someone understand that and being like, it's fine, this is life, this is what happens. And that's probably the best thing about sustainability is like they understand, and there's no like there's no judgment based on if something has went wrong.
It's real results for real people. That is what it is. And it's
Yeah.
about empowering women to be able to achieve a result that they didn't think was possible in a way that fits into their life. So it doesn't feel like you're failing, it feels like you're winning. And you have won. Like so far, you've done amazing. And like you've said there, it's slotted in nicely to your life. And it's not felt hard. Like that's exactly how it's designed to be. And I'm delighted to hear you say that back to me. Makes me so happy. Honestly, so, so good. You should be so proud because it's not easy and it's not easy to take the step. It takes a lot of courage and to think, okay, I'm actually going to do this.
I'm definitely proud of myself. And it's one of those things that, especially because I've been doing this over like the New Year period, and I said this to Claire and my husband that it's quite nice going into the new year, not doing this whole me new year kind of thing. It was just like, this is just my life and this is just me being me. It's just been, it's educational as well. I think that's the thing. It just kind of makes you think. And I think me thinking and analysing things has made a big difference to like, why am I eating?
Yeah, totally. I think that's it. Like, as hard as it's been when things have came up and like learning to navigate through different situations, the reason we say like life is never quiet, just do it, is because everything you've learned is like a little toolbox now, and you have all those tools that you'll apply throughout your life to be able to apply to different situations when different things come up. So it's about education. That's what we want for everybody, is to have that knowledge and power to know what works for them, how to lose weight, how to sustain it, how to continue improving on your results, and then be able to do it on your own.
That's the thing. Like, everything now is just like natural. I don't know how to explain it apart from if you're worried or you watch, because it was probably what I was doing. I was watching videos and being like, did I do this or not? Did I do this or not? I'm worried, kind of like, is it worth the investment of doing it? And I'd say for me anyway, yes, because it has changed my life. And coming up to like being 40, I feel like I've made that change rather than hitting 40 and being like, I need to make this big change now. I've already done. That's probably the most shocking thing, is like it's not been massive changes. It's just been small changes, and that's the best thing about it.
Yeah. I know, you can walk into your 40th year being like, I feel the best. I felt in the last like 10 years nearly, which is incredible.
Definitely. It's just, yeah, I don't, yeah, it's been amazing.
Kind of walking along before we did hop on our call.
Maybe, maybe 8 to 6 months, probably at that point of like actually
Yeah.
that I need to do something. Because obviously, when you're in the midst of like postpartum,
Yeah, it's
it's
hard.
just like, I don't know, you don't sleep, you're just not thinking. And it was kind of finding that my feet again of like actually being me again. When my son was starting to go to nursery, I was going back to work, and then I was like, oh, I just feel uncomfortable. I'm not. I think it was going back into the normal, what was the new normal routine. It was probably more the judgment call of like, I'm not enjoying anything. Because when you're on maternity leave, you're kind of you're enjoying not being at work and doing all these things you don't really think about, because your one focus is to sort your child and make sure your child is comfortable and happy, and you don't think about yourself. And once they reach kind of one, I feel it changes and you do
Yeah.
find a wee bit more time for yourself.